Okay, guys, Panzer J back. We are up to turn 13.6 officially for Italy here in Operation Live and Let Die. I just wanted to touch base real quick on a little bit of debate from Japan's last turn here, 13.3. So I had went ahead and purchased 3 submarines, but I wanted to elect to keep them in the place units box. Those subs cost me $15 because I have improved construction. There was a little bit of back and forth in the comments. A couple of people, led by the veteran, said that they had to be placed immediately. They couldn't just sit in the place units box. A couple other people had kind of taken the opposite viewpoint that they could. So I just had elected to take the 3 subs off and save the $15. The difference being is that these carriers are multi-stage construction units, and that seems to be the difference as far as being able to keep them in the place units box and place them on the board at your discretion, whereas the subs are an immediate purchase, and it seems to be that they have to be placed, if at all possible, when they're actually purchased. So it seems like the rule is the subs would have to be placed, but if that was the case, I had elected not to purchase the subs. I was under the impression they could sit in the place units box. So long story short, after talking over with my opponents, since we had been playing the whole game with units being able to sit in the place units box and not be placed, and Fighting Irish had brought up the example of Global War 36 enthusiasts having some Russian infantry that sat in the place units box for a couple of turns or something, I believe. Fighting Irish said that I can just go ahead and purchase the subs instead and let them sit there in the place units box. So that's what we're going to do. It doesn't matter to me either way. I could rescind the purchase or have the sub sit there. So it doesn't affect me either way, but Fighting Irish made a good point. We've been playing that way the whole game, so we're just going to continue with it for this game. So I went ahead and placed the 3 subs back in the place units box and then taken $15 away from Japan. So for my opponents, put the 3 subs back in the place units box and then go ahead and take away $15 for Japan. So now on to Italy. We have 2 tech rolls. So we are going to go for long-range aircraft, which is 7 or higher, and improved construction, which is also 7 or higher. Long-range aircraft is currently at stage 1, and improved construction is at stage 3. So let's go ahead with long-range aircraft first. And we rolled a 3, so we missed there. And then improved construction. We got a 12, so we succeeded there. So let's go ahead and mark that on the production chart here. So Italy does finish off improved construction, so that's a positive. So that is their second tech they've completed. Long-range aircraft sitting still at stage 1. Okay, so now on to purchases. So Italy had lost $1 on Fighting Irish's portion of the turn from the French sub convoying in the Med. So that left me with $28, and I'm going to spend the full $28. So I'm going to buy 2 fighters for 10 apiece. That's 20, and then 2 Marines for 4 apiece. That's 8. The sculpt I'm using for the Marines is actually from HBG. It's a partisan. Italy doesn't have any Marine sculpts, and I don't have any markers to signify Marines either. So I'm just going to use this partisan sculpt, but just so everyone knows, that's going to be 2 Marines. So that's the full $28 Italy is going to spend. As far as combat moves, we have 2 combat moves altogether. So the first one is going to be, we're going to move into Western Egypt. And what's going to move in there is 2 infantry, a motorized infantry, and then 2 colonial infantry, all from Cyrenaica. I also noticed on Fighting Irish's video, he did not have the 2 colonial infantry Italy had down in Cyrenaica. He only had 2 infantry and a motorized plus the planes. the 2 colonial infantry I had bought the last turn in place there. So altogether, moving up 1 territory to Western Egypt is 2 regular infantry, 2 colonial, and 1 motorized. And then the second combat movement is going to be these 2 coastal subs are going to pull back 1 sea zone to 81 and convoy that line there in sea zone 81. So those are the only 2 combat moves. So I already went ahead and moved these guys up to 1 territory. So that's worth $1 to Italy and down $1 for the UK. So let's move Italy up $1 to 15, and then the UK down $1 to 18. And then let's go ahead and roll for our subs. So I am actually at a -1 for modifiers because Fighting Irish has got the radar tech, so that gives him +2. And my subs are only coastal, not regular subs, so they only get a +1. So I'm actually at a -1 for these rolls. So let's go ahead. Black will be the Italians, and red will be the British. So for the first roll, and again I'm -1, we each rolled a 2, but he is +1 in essence, so nothing for the first sub. The second sub, Black Italy again. We get a 5 to a 2. He has a +1, so I got $2 off of him for that. And I believe there was $2 left of IPP to take off. I think the Germans maybe had taken 2, and the Russians maybe as well. So I'll let my opponents go ahead and double check my math, but I believe there was still $2 to take off that line. So the British should have lost $2 for those 2 Italian coastal subs. So now for non-combat moves, we are going to go ahead and take our battleship, our 2 heavy cruisers, and our light cruiser, and they're going to go up 1, 2, up here to sea zone 50. And I'll probably put these on the Italian card because it's going to get a little crowded there. Then 2 of these transports are also going to go 1, 2 up to sea zone 50. And then the 3 destroyers and the torpedo boat destroyer are all going to pull back to sea zone 50. I'll just move these German units over there a little bit. Okay, then this transport here in sea zone 81 is going to go up 1, take this guy off of Crete, 2, back to sea zone 81 and drop him off in Transjordan. The infantry in Syria is going to move up 1 to Transjordan. This fighter is going to come down from Syria to Transjordan. These 3 fighters and these tacticals are all, the 1 tactical is all going to go 1, 2 to Transjordan. So they're all down there. And this tactical in northern Italy can move an extra space because the airfield is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can easily reach. And that's going to also be in Transjordan as well. And I believe that's it for non-combat moves. So now for unit placement, we'll go ahead and take our 2 fighters we purchased and put them in northern Italy, as well as the 2 Marines go down in northern Italy. And that should be it for unit placement. So now just to kind of recap a little bit, we've got 2 Marines, 2 Italian fighters, 2 German fighters, and a German tactical in northern Italy. Rome has 3 militia. In Sea Zone 50, right now, we have a battleship, 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, 2 transports, 3 destroyers, and a torpedo boat destroyer. Down in Sea Zone 81 are 2 coastal subs and a transport. In Western Egypt here, we've got 2 regular infantry, 2 colonial infantry, and a motorized. And then in Transjordan, we have 4 fighters, 2 tacticals, 2 mountain infantry, and let's see, it's either 6 or 7 regular infantry. Let's count this up real quick. 2, 4, 5, 6. 7 altogether. So 7 regular infantry, and I'll chip out one of these guys here in a minute. So again, in Transjordan is going to be 4 fighters, 2 tacticals, 7 regular infantry, and 2 mountain infantry. And that should be it for Italy. We just got to do their income and wartime income bonus. So let's go ahead and roll that for Italy. 5. So they are another $5. They're currently sitting at 15. So that gives them 20. And there's no enemy warships in the Med, so that's another $2. So Italy should be collecting $22 this next turn. So $22 for Italy. And that will finish off Italians here on turn 13.6, turning things back over to Fighting Irish for the US and KMT 13.7.